The most powerful spells in Harry Potter are not the ones everyone screams in a duel. They are the ones the films turned into pretty lights, quick cuts, and wizard laser tag. In this video, we are breaking down the magic that should genuinely terrify you. Let's get into it. Part 1. The homemade mute button. Langlock sounds like a joke spell until you realize how evil it actually is. Severus Snape created a spell that glues someone's tongue to the roof of their mouth. No dramatic lightning, no skull in the sky, just instant silence. Harry Potter finds it in the old Half-Blood Prince textbook in Harry Potter, and the Half-Blood Prince by J.K. Rowling, and uses it on Peeves, which means Severus Snape, as a teenager, invented the magical version of the mute button before Zoom made it socially acceptable. But here is why it matters. Most spells in the wizarding world are spoken out loud. So Langlock does not just stop you talking, it shuts down your ability to defend yourself. A normal student learns Expelliarmus. Severus Snape looked at annoying classmates and thought, what if their mouth became furniture? That is not just clever magic, that is a personality warning. Part 2. The curse with its own repair manual. Most people fear the unforgivable curses. Avada Kedavra, Cruciatus, Imperius. But Sectumsempra is one of the darkest things Severus Snape ever created. And he made it at school. Not as a grown Death Eater, not during a war. As a student at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, writing in the margins of a potions textbook, like every teenager casually invents magical surgery without consent. Harry later uses Sectumsempra on Draco Lucius Malfoy, and the result is instant horror. Invisible blades cut Draco open. Blood everywhere. Panic everywhere. And then Severus Snape arrives with the healing counter curse, because apparently this man created the malware and the customer support line. That is the part people skip. Snape did not only invent a curse, he understood it well enough to reverse it. The spell was not an accident. It was engineered. A teenager made a curse that adults were not ready to clean up. Part 3. The polite home invasion. Legilimency is terrifying because it does not look like an attack. Lord Voldemort uses it, Severus Snape uses it, Albus Dumbledore understands it, and most people do not even know when it is happening. It is not full mind reading like someone plugging a USB stick into your trauma. It is more subtle than that. Surface thoughts, emotions, memories, weak spots. The moment your defenses slip, someone else is inside your head acting like they paid rent. In Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix by J.K. Rowling, Harry has to learn occlumency because Voldemort's connection to him is becoming dangerous. But the real horror is not that Voldemort can see into Harry, it is that Harry is still a child trying to build mental walls against the most dangerous dark wizard alive. One person has a wand, the other has a childhood wound. Privacy in the wizarding world is not a right. It is a skill issue. Part 4. The contract nobody should sign. The Unbreakable Vow is magical contract law written by someone who thought lawyers were too gentle. Two people make an oath. A third person seals it. If the vow is broken, the person who breaks it dies. No Ministry of Magic appeal, no second chance, no owl with a polite warning letter. Just immediate magical consequences. In Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince by J.K. Rowling, Narcissa Malfoy uses this vow to bind Severus Snape to protect Draco Malfoy and complete his task if Draco fails. That scene works because everyone understands the cost. Snape is not just making a promise, he is putting his life on a timer, and honestly, the strangest thing is that Lord Voldemort did not use this constantly. This man branded people with dark marks, built a terrorist network, and still forgot to make Death Eaters sign the one contract that kills you for bad performance. The Unbreakable Vow does not punish betrayal. It deletes it. Before we go darker, if you are enjoying this, subscribe. We go deeper into the wizarding world than anyone else. Part 5. The name that doxed you. The Taboo curse is one of Voldemort's smartest pieces of magic. Not strongest, smartest. During Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows by J.K. Rowling, saying Voldemort's name becomes dangerous because the name itself reveals your location. That means Voldemort turned his own brand into a tracking device. He did not need posters. He did not need search teams. He made fear do the work. Say his name, and Snatchers can find you. Which means Lord Voldemort accidentally invented Dark Wizard search engine optimization. The keyword was his own face. And somehow he still had no nose in the profile picture. But the genius is psychological. For years, Dumbledore tells people to say the name. Fear of a name increases fear of the thing itself. Then Voldemort weaponizes that courage. The people brave enough to say his name become the easiest people to catch. Fear was not a side effect. Fear was the system. Part 6. The Corpse Army with one weakness. Inferi are not zombies. Zombies usually have hunger, instinct, movement, some kind of horror movie career path. Inferi are worse. They are corpses animated by dark magic and controlled like tools. In Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince by J.K. Rowling, Voldemort fills the Horcrux cave with them. Not one body, not 10. A hidden lake of dead people waiting under the water. That is not security. That is a war crime with interior design, and the important detail is their weakness, fire. Inferi fear it, they avoid it, because dead flesh has no defense against burning, which makes Voldemort's cave both terrifying and hilarious. He built a lake full of corpses and apparently forgot that Albus Dumbledore has the magical energy of a retired sun god. The bodies were dead. The message was alive. Part 7. The potion that makes bravery useless. The cave potion is one of Voldemort's cruelest inventions because it does not attack the body first. It attacks the person. To retrieve the fake Horcrux locket, Dumbledore has to drink every drop. Harry cannot vanish it. He cannot scoop it away. He cannot outsmart it with a clever charm. The potion must be consumed. And when Dumbledore drinks it, he is reduced to pain, fear, begging, and memory. This is the part the films show quickly, but the books make unbearable. Dumbledore, the greatest wizard alive, cannot magic his way out. He has to suffer through it while Harry watches. That is why the scene matters. Voldemort did not design a lock for strength. He designed a lock for helplessness. Dumbledore did not win by being powerful. He won by letting Harry see him break. Part 8. The fire that hates its own user. Fiendfyre is what happens when a spell has no interest in your career plans. It is cursed fire, huge, predatory, dark. And once it starts, it does not politely wait for instructions. It becomes serpents, dragons, birds of prey, and whatever else your worst decision feels like. In Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows by J.K. Rowling, Vincent Crabbe casts Fiendfyre inside the Room of Requirement, and the spell immediately behaves like it read the school rules and took them personally. It destroys Rowena Ravenclaw's diadem, one of Voldemort's Horcruxes. So yes, Fiendfyre is strong enough to destroy a piece of Voldemort's soul, one of only 2 known methods alongside basilisk venom. But it also kills the caster. That is the catch. Fiendfyre can solve your problem if your problem is everything, including you. Some magic obeys you. Fiendfyre negotiates with your obituary. Part 9. The blue fire that judges your soul. Protego Diabolica is not from the main books. This is film canon from Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, where Gellert Grindelwald uses blue fire to separate loyal followers from everyone else. And it is terrifying, because this fire does not just burn, it judges. Walk through with loyalty to Grindelwald, and you survive. Hesitate, resist, doubt, or stand against him, and the flames erase you. That means Protego Diabolica is not just elemental magic. It is ideology made visible. It is airport security if airport security had no questions, no trays, and immediate cremation. Grindelwald does not ask people to believe. He makes belief physically dangerous. That is why this magic is so different from Fiendfyre. Fiendfyre is chaos. Protego. Diabolica has a political opinion. It was not protection. It was ideology with flames. Part 10. The wand glitch that saved Harry. Priori Incantatem sounds complicated, but the idea is simple. Harry Potter and Lord Voldemort have wands with twin cores. Both contain a feather from Fawkes, Dumbledore's phoenix. So when they duel in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire by J.K. Rowling, the wands connect. Not because Harry is suddenly stronger than Voldemort, not because Voldemort forgot how murder works, because the wands refuse to fight properly. The stronger wand forces the other to reveal echoes of previous spells. That is why the ghosts of Voldemort's victims appear. Not real resurrection, not a normal spell, a magical playback error. Voldemort showed up expecting a clean kill, and his wand opened its browser history. That is brutal. That is embarrassing. That is Garrick Ollivander customer support arriving at the worst possible moment. Destiny looked dramatic. The hardware was incompatible. And years later, Voldemort tries to solve this problem by seeking the Elder Wand, because if you cannot fix the connection, you take the strongest wand instead. Part 11. The Dark Lord Who Rage Quit Walking. Unsupported flight is one of Voldemort's strangest abilities. This is not normal apparition. Normal wizards need rules, locations, focus, and the 3D's destination: determination, deliberation. Voldemort looked at the system and decided walking was for people with intact souls. In Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows by J.K. Rowling, Voldemort flies without a broom or thestral, and Severus Snape later shows the same ability. That detail matters because it suggests the magic can be learned, but only by people operating at an extremely dangerous level. My theory is that unsupported flight works because Voldemort is not moving through space like a normal wizard. He is forcing his body to obey magic more than physics. You be the judge. But either way, this is not travel. This is arrogance with altitude. Voldemort did not break rules to look powerful. He broke rules because normal limits insulted him. Part 12. The Blood Pact That Turned Love into Prison. The blood pact between Albus Dumbledore and Gellert Grindelwald is one of the most disturbing pieces of magic in Fantastic Beasts. Two young men mix blood. A magical vessel forms, and the result prevents them from fighting each other directly. On the surface, it looks romantic and dramatic. Underneath, it is horrifying. Because a promise between two ambitious young wizards becomes a magical cage for the entire world. Dumbledore cannot move against Grindelwald. Grindelwald cannot simply remove Dumbledore. Their old love becomes international security policy. That is not normal teenage regret. That is the kind of breakup that needs its own department of magical law enforcement. And the tragedy is simple. The Blood Pact does not prove they loved each other. It proves they did not trust what love might become. Part 13. The Curse That Steals a Person Slowly. The Maledictus curse is not animagus magic. That distinction matters. An animagus chooses transformation. A Maledictus carries a blood curse. Nagini is the clearest example. Before she becomes Voldemort's snake, Nagini is a woman cursed to transform, slowly losing the ability to return. This is not power. This is erosion. A werewolf has cycles, an animagus has control, a Maledictus has a countdown, and that makes Nagini's story darker than the films ever properly explored. By the time Harry sees her in the original story, she is already treated like an extension of Voldemort, a weapon, a Horcrux, a snake in a room, but Fantastic Beasts shows that there was once a person there. Nagini did not become a monster in one scene. The curse took her by the inch. Part 14, the resurrection recipe from a legal nightmare. Voldemort's resurrection ritual in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire by J.K. Rowling is one of the darkest rituals in the series. Bone of the father, flesh of the servant, blood of the enemy. That is not a spell. That is a cursed cooking show hosted in a graveyard. The ritual rebuilds Voldemort's body using Harry's blood, Peter Pettigrew's flesh, and Tom Riddle Sr.'s bones. It works. Tom Riddle returns as Lord Voldemort. But he also makes one of the biggest mistakes in the entire series. By taking Harry's blood, he carries Lily Evans Potter's protection into his own body. He thinks he has stolen the shield. Instead, he ties himself closer to the boy he wants to kill. Voldemort tries to pirate love, and installs the version with a curse attached. That is the irony. He understands blood. He does not understand sacrifice. Voldemort returned through dark magic. He lost because he misunderstood the oldest magic in the story. Part 15. The protection nobody can cast. Lily Evans Potter's Sacrificial Protection is the most powerful magic in Harry Potter because nobody can teach it. There is no class, no incantation, no wand movement, no professor writing it on a chalkboard while first years panic in silence. It happens because Lily chooses to die for Harry. Voldemort gives her the chance to step aside. She refuses. That choice creates magic. Voldemort cannot understand because to him, love is weakness. But the curse rebounds. Harry lives. Voldemort is destroyed, and years later, Voldemort still does not learn. He uses Harry's blood to return, thinking he is taking control of the protection. But love is not a password you steal. It is a choice you have to make. The strongest magic in Harry Potter was not taught, it was chosen. Part 16. Dumbledore's Firestorm. Now we can finally talk about Albus Dumbledore in the cave, because this is the moment that connects everything. Inferi Fiendfyre. Voldemort built a lake full of them. Dumbledore has just drunk a potion designed to break him. He is weak. He is shaking. He is in pain. Harry is panicking. And then the dead rise from the water. This should be the end. But Dumbledore raises fire. Not wildfire, not fiendfire, not a messy explosion. Controlled fire, a ring of protection around Harry, a moving barrier, a weapon and a shield at the same time. That is why Dumbledore's Firestorm is so insane. He is not just producing power, he is producing precision while poisoned. Most wizards can barely cast under pressure. Dumbledore turns a death lake into a no-entry zone for corpses while his body is failing him. And that is the difference between Dumbledore and almost everyone else. Voldemort builds magic to dominate. Grindelwald builds magic to recruit. Snape builds magic to punish. Lily creates magic through sacrifice. Dumbledore uses magic like understanding. Not because he is pure, not because he is innocent, because he knows what every form of magic costs. Dumbledore was dying, poisoned, terrified, and still the most dangerous person in the cave. The films never showed you this. Now HBO has the chance too. With John Lithgow playing Albus Dumbledore, Papa Essiedu playing Severus Snape, showrunner Francesca Gardiner, director Mark Mylod, producer David Heyman, Warner Brothers, and HBO Max have one job. Do not turn magic into random colored beams. Show the rules. Show the cost. Show why Langlock matters because speech matters. Show why Sectumsempra is terrifying because Severus Snape invented violence with grammar. Show why the Taboo works because Voldemort understands fear better than anyone. Show why Priori Incantatem is not Harry overpowering Voldemort, but wand lore saving his life by accident. And when Harry and Dumbledore reach the Horcrux cave, do not make the Firestorm just look cool. Make it feel impossible. Make the audience understand that Harry is standing next to a man who can fight an army of corpses, outthink Voldemort's trap, and still not save himself from the choices he made years before. That is the real power of magic in Harry Potter. Not light, not noise, not explosions. Meaning. So here is the question. Which piece of magic must HBO get right first? Fiendfyre, the Taboo, or Dumbledore's cave Firestorm? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. If you are new here, subscribe. We go deeper into the wizarding world than anyone else. The full video on why Dumbledore might be the real villain is linked right here. Until next time, mischief managed.